Amazing, amazing game. Just absolutely incredible. Now, you know what one of my favorite things to do is?
What's that?
To be a broken record. I've said probably in every single PVT, if you get Colossi too fast, it's a big risk. But we saw TTOne get 4 gates, Immortals, and then got Colossi. Only really ever had 2 participating in that battle, and still it was so one-sided. And I love the way TT1 sprinted off to an early lead with that force field contain.
Yeah, the force field contain was deadly, and usually we think about the whole concept of the Terran is the one doing a lot of the containing with the tanks, but it just goes to show a little bit of energy on those sentries, and you can have those infinity force fields going on your opponent's base. And think about what it is this allowed here even? Oh, we got invited to the game. If you think about what Pain.User had to invest in order to get just out of his base, I mean, it just seemed like at that point he already was at risk of losing, and TT1 just did exactly what he needed to do. Great timing, push, and went forward. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was very, very nicely executed. And you've kind of seen this same theme from Pain.User, that he really wants to get to that Thor Banshee. It's a very brilliant transition that I definitely think more people will be doing in the future. However, he needs to be doing more pressure with the Marines and the Marauders early on. He's desperately clawing his way into the end game and needs to be arriving there a little bit more comfortably.
No, that actually makes a lot of sense, especially considering the style that he's been playing throughout this tournament. And we do have everyone in the game. We're just going to get our colors corrected, and then we'll get started. This is the losers bracket final. If you've just joined us for the MLG 2010 National Championship here for StarCraft 2. 3 players left, TT1 and Pain.User in the lower bracket, and then, of course, Jinro from Liquid in the upper bracket. We've got the countdown going, and it looks like Lost Temple will be the map.
So if you would like Pain.User to pull the 2-1 comeback, give a cheer for Pain.User from Lazarus Gaming. And if you would like TT1 from Fnatic MSI to take the win, give a cheer for TT1.
Now, do you know, Day, because we've already seen TT1 and Jinro go up against one another,
yeah,
how does that work? Is there such thing as an extended series in the finals?
There is. That was actually what happened at the first MLG Raleigh between Huck and Kiwikaki, so definitely can happen. Might even result in a lot more games. I'll just give a special shout out to Select, who tracked me down and just typed my name in all caps and exclamation points. Hello, Select. TT1 spawning in the north position as the blue Protoss. In the bottom, we have Pain.User as the red Terran.
Yep, and of course up in that north position, the blue Protoss TT1, again hugging that nexus with this pylon, and these cross positions might be a little bit better for Pain.User in terms of the game that he wants to play, that late game that you were talking about, Dave. Of course, without a lot of harassment, TT1 is so solid on putting together his army and knowing exactly what he needs to get. Maybe that time it will go against Pain.User. If he's not harassing, if he's not keeping constant vision and doing some sort of work against his opponent, could end up exactly like the last game.
Absolutely. I think the one thing Pain.User is thinking in his mind is that this natural expansion, very easy to defend, and most importantly, look at this juicy gold that is right outside the front door. He just needs to get to this Xel'Naga tower. That is the key location for Pain.User on this game. He can get so many more bases up if he secures that. So I would expect a tank-heavy play from Pain.User as he starts to work out his supply depot.
And we've seen him often transition from that tank-heavy play to the Thors. Of course, it worked out for him great in some TVTs, but you know, we'll see if that's exactly going to be his plan in the TVP. In some other TVPs, he used some Banshees to great effect as well. And I know after talking with him last night that it's one of his favorite things to do.
Absolutely, and there's TT1 finishing up that gateway, again building the cybernetics core as far back to the edge as he can. Very methodical with where he throws down those structures. Second barracks going down for Pain.User. Great early barracks timing. He was actually making this mistake earlier in the tournament where he would build the second barracks after a supply depot, but here he has made that correction and thrown it down one little bit earlier.
Tech Lab going on the first racks as the second one comes back up, and we've got a Marine going way out here to try to stop this scouting probe, and he will go ahead and ward it off as TT1 will have to get back. Meanwhile, Pain.User up in the base of his opponent, whether he knew it or not, almost blocked that pylon from going down. One Zealot is out, and he decided to go ahead and go with the early Zealot instead of just waiting for the Psy-Core and get the Stalker as well. And he is about 30% there on his Warp Gate.
So it looks like TT1's going to be gearing up to do, I was going to say an early expand, but no, there's a second gateway. It looks like he wants to be doing a similar structure to the previous game, getting the second gateway before that gas. Is he going to get a third gateway? Yes, and I love the spread of gateway. So hard to spot with one scan unless you directly hit on that one gateway. Oh, a 4-gate. Holy cow, is that aggressive?
Yeah, and you bring up that great point. The spread of the gateways is so big that one scan might not collect all of that data, and I really like that. Again, TT1 just showing that he strives for perfection in everything that he's doing. Now, we're seeing something that we have seen in the past from Pain.User before, a scouting Reaper who's going to go out, and in this case, we do have scout going on by TT1, but he catches the Reaper coming in. He's just going to try to take him out, and with nowhere to go, no cliffs over here, he is going to fall to that Stalker.
So, I mean, really, if you are a Pain.User in this situation, oh, that's actually the exact opposite of what you want to do if you are a Pain.User, is throw down an expansion. Did he get the chance to see that gateway? It looks like he did get vision of it, but he would have had to click incredibly fast to find out what that is. Look at that, the 4 warp gates are done. There's a round of Zealots and Stalkers. This is a giant push coming up from TT1, and as we see, Pain.User has control of everything and cancels the expansion, is pulling back in a total panic, throwing a bunker down at the front, but he has almost no units at all.
Yeah, and here come 4 Stalkers, 2 Zealots could be just enough to bust up this ramp. He's going to have to bring his SCVs out, very smart. He'll try to do as much damage as he can, minimize the losses of his SCVs. More Marines coming out to help out in this situation. Zealot getting in the battle as well. First Zealot falls, second one about to fall as well, and he has kept all of his bio units alive. He may push this back.
Oh, amazing defense by Pain.User, but was the cost too great? Looking down, look at how few SCVs he has left in the unit station. It's 18 SCVs versus 23 probes, and TT1 looks like he is not done yet.
And very brave Marine is going to make his way out here, and he's got to be careful about this. More Stalkers coming in to reinforce, and here's where it's going to be the real buzzkill as a sentry is moved up as well, and that could do some nasty things with the force field on that ramp right there, but he's going to be completely fine. Even if he doesn't attack, here he is in the exact same position as he was in Game 1. I'm going to completely stop Pain.User from being able to expand, and then I will just win from that point forward.
Very amazingly well thought out play by TT1. We even see pylons getting spread out around the map, another one right outside the front door. This is going to be vulnerable later, but for now it creates a very nice cup, so he can do a great contain and spot for any sort of counter drop at the same time, as of course this is where the elevator play would go down. Just needs to make sure he ends up spotting things at the left, and ooh, looks like Pain.User wants to do a Banshee tech in the corner.
Yep, as we see the factory floating over there, and of course Starport already in production. And this is, I mean, this is deja vu, only on a different map. You can see the spread that TT1 has. He's got almost exactly the same unit composition. In the last game he had like 4 sentries, a few less Zealots than he has now, and his Nexus is nearing warp-in, and this is just, I mean, this is intimidating right here. And once again, Pain.User is just having that problem with TT1 being so annoying, just knocking at his front door.
Now the one real danger is that with this swap, is he going to have detection in time? As we see, it looks like Pain.User is saving up for detection, and by saving up for detection, I mean building a Banshee and not getting detection. So there's the Banshee that's actually getting supply blocked, and oh yes, there is the cloaking field right now. There we go, and that's